All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on government bureaucracy. We're not just looking at forms and websites, no. We're going to decode the actual machinery behind it all. Think of this as your operator's manual, something to give you a real analytical edge when you're trying to navigate these pretty complex systems. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've broken down the whole operational logic into 5 key themes. We'll start with what this bureaucratic machine actually is, and we'll end with, what happens when it all goes wrong, which, let's be honest, it sometimes does. Okay, first things first. We have to completely reframe how we think about this. You're not just dealing with a website or talking to someone in an office. At their very core, what you're interacting with are complex engines. And these engines are built to follow an incredibly strict set of rules. And getting this concept is probably the most critical step of all. When you get a rejection, it's not personal, it's not random. It is a totally predictable mechanical response because the input you gave it just didn't fit the rules. The engine is literally just doing what it was programmed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you want to interact with this engine, you gotta speak its language. And let me tell you, that language has nothing to do with your name or your personal story. It is based completely on unique identifiers, basically numbers. This is such a crucial mental shift to make. As far as these systems are concerned, your entire identity, your whole case file, it's all tied directly to a set of numbers, not your name. Yeah, look at these. Every single one of these numbers is like a key, and each one unlocks a totally different door inside this giant machine. But here's the most important part. The system assumes you know which key to use for which door. It's not going to search for it or figure it out for you. That's on you. And here is a perfect real-world example of this in action. The USCIS says right here that when you change your address, if you give them your name, but you forget to include a specific receipt number for one of your pending cases, well, the system will not link them. It just won't. As far as that engine is concerned, that case you forgot, it doesn't even exist in your request. Okay, so moving on, it's really important to get this. Not all steps in any given process are equal, not even close. Some are just, simple hurdles you have to jump over, but others are what we call critical checkpoints. These are the single points of failure where tons of otherwise perfect applications just get automatically rejected. So what is a critical checkpoint? Let's get really precise here, because honestly, figuring these out and mastering them, that's the whole game. Right. So don't think of it as a hurdle you can kind of stumble over. It's more like a binary gate. It's either open or it's slammed shut. You either follow the procedure perfectly or, bam, the gate closes. The system won't even bother to look at the rest of your beautifully prepared application. A failure right there triggers an immediate automatic no. Let's look at a classic example. And this is a textbook critical checkpoint. Just paying the filing fee for a USCIS application. You'd think it's simple, right? Wrong. It is loaded with these little non-obvious rules. Now look closely at step 3 here. This is a perfect example of one of those hidden rules. Let's say you fill out the bank debit form perfectly, but you forget to call your bank first to pre-authorize the payment to the USCIS lockbox. Guess what happens? Your own bank is probably going to block the transaction for security reasons. And USCIS, they are not going to call you. They're not going to try the payment a second time. The engine just sees a failed input and your whole package gets rejected. Just like that. And that brings us to another huge rule you have to know. So many people have this flawed assumption that, if they make a mistake, the agency will just fix it. No, they won't. The main job of these engines is to verify the information you give them, not to correct it for you. You can see there's a really strict division of labor here. Just look at the 2 columns. all the responsibility for making sure the information is accurate, for getting things corrected, it all falls on you, the person applying. The agency system, like the SAVE system they use for immigration verification, its only job is to ask a question and get a yes/no answer from the records. So let's play this out. Say you go to the DMV for a driver's license and they run your info. Turns out there's a typo on your I-94 arrival record. The verification system can't fix that. The DMV definitely can't fix it. You have to be the one to go all the way back to the source agency, in this case, Customs and Border Protection, get them to correct the original record, and only then can you go back and start the whole DMV process all over again. So what happens when you do everything right? You follow every single rule, and the automated system still kicks back an error. Well, the good news is the overall machine does have some built-in escape hatches, ways to escalate your case to an actual human being for a review. And these aren't just your average customer service hotlines, not at all. These are formal, official channels, often mandated by Congress, specifically to help you resolve issues when the normal automated process has failed you. You could almost think of them as your voice, your advocate on the inside of the machine. I mean, this quote from the Taxpayer Advocate Service just says it all, right? They're your voice at the IRS. They exist specifically for those times when the machine gives you an answer that's just wrong or seems totally final. Just knowing these guys exist is a super important page in your operator's manual. So when you start to really internalize these rules, when you get the engine's logic, when you start speaking its language, when you master those critical checkpoints and you really understand your responsibilities, something amazing happens. You stop being just a passive applicant, kind of hoping for the best. You become an informed operator. You can navigate the whole system with purpose and with precision. And believe me, operating with precision really, really matters. Why? Because the stakes can be incredibly high. Just look at this. In 2025, there's a new refundable piece of the adoption tax credit. We're talking up to $5,000 cash back in your pocket. But whether you get it or not is going to come down entirely to perfect procedural compliance. You miss one step and that money is gone. So that leaves us with a question, right? Now that you know the rules of the machine, what's the very first step you're going to take to actually operate it? Thanks for watching.